Okay, let's talk about Rebecca Coriam. Someone asked me to do this in my comment section. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into because I'm not up on my missing persons cases. I don't watch a lot of TV or anything like that. And I was going into this blindly without any information, and I didn't realize like what this was affiliated with. So let's definitely go ahead and start this video with, um, you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is only a theory from my spiritually channeled opinion. I am going to read through my channeling session. If you don't like that, then just scroll on. Um, I so since I didn't know any of the information, I just kind of asked the you know the main question about her being missing, and that throws me into, once I get answers from my soul team, into like getting like, oh, I need to ask this, I need to find out this. And so that's kind of how I operate. And sometimes, to the extent of my question, I will get more details from my soul team. And so I'm trying to decide if I wanted to read like the whole channeling session or just kind of the confirmation at the end. I guess I'll just read through it and see if I can get this done within 8 minutes. Okay, and this is just, again, a theory. Rebecca's disappearance from the Disney Wonder in March 2011 carries a distortion field, which has long masked the soul's departure timeline. However, within the harmonic record, her soul essence is no longer embodied in this physical plane. So, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. She did not survive past 2011, and her soul departed within 72 hours of the distressing phone call captured on CCTV. The event sequence, like a harmonic echo that my soul team was getting to me. Rebecca was emotionally destabilized after the call, involving an intimate relationship under pressure from crew dynamics. She exited the lounge in a highly dissociative emotional state, experiencing what registers as a split between conscious and soul guided movement. There was no accident or fall in the traditional sense. Her exit from the ship was facilitated, allegedly, 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 by an external force registered as a crew related interference, though it was not premeditated. There allegedly is indication of a cover up and tampering with both digital logs and field access. Her physical form entered the ocean, likely from the lower crew deck, while still alive but disoriented and subdued. The energetic imprint confirms soul exit occurred within the water. I actually pulled through a current soul status because I do a lot of work with souls that are departed. And what I got on this was her soul returned to source with a high degree of emotional confusion, which happens in like traumatic type of events. She's not earthbound, not trapped, and not in pain. Her soul is now in a healing sanctuary field, not reincarnated as of the scan, and still stabilizing from what her essence experienced as a spiritual betrayal. She's not forgotten, and your remembrance is helping lift distortion residues around her story. By your, they're talking to me. Okay, and so this is where I was like, I need more information. And so I wanted to get clarification on that whole external force thing. And so they were further sharing with me that she did not willfully jump from the ship, nor was she directly pushed with the intent to unlife her. However, she was physically confronted or restrained during heightened emotional moment by one or more crew members attempting to de-escalate or control her, possibly in relation to the personal relationship that had caused the distressing phone call earlier. The interference was not coordinated, but reckless and forceful, leading to her disoriented collapse or loss of balance near the vulnerable edge or threshold. Uh, and then I had a note about likely a low restricted crew area. The sole record marks this as involuntary assisted descent, meaning she was not in the mindset to unlife herself. The crew members involved panicked and made no attempt to recover her, choosing instead to obscure the incident. So then I was like, well, what about this whole cover up thing? Like, I need more information. Like, what are you talking about? This, again, is all allegedly. So, allegedly, after her disappearance, ship records were edited, entry exit logs from crew areas were partially wiped or restamped. CCTV footage in the relevant lower corridors was either disabled at the time or erased shortly after. There was also a false narrative planted internally that framed her as emotionally unstable and possibly wanting to unlife herself. And a select few within the ship's upper level management allegedly aware the incident occurred involving crew, but chose containment over exposure, fearing the impact it would have on the Big D's public image and legal liability. Allegedly, the cover up was not orchestrated at the highest corporate level, but it was allegedly sanctioned locally, likely by a captain or security lead. Let me see if I can get through these last few details from this channeling. Her body entered the water alive, but she was disoriented, possibly with a concussion or just slightly unconscious from falling and I guess hitting her head, energetically overwhelmed, unable to call for help or swim fully because of her condition. The soul remained tethered for a brief window, estimated 2 to 3 minutes, experiencing physical trauma, panic, and loss of oxygen. The departure moment was peaceful. Her soul was met and lifted by a compassionate presence during the drowning process, preventing prolonged suffering. My next video, I'm going to talk about why she did not ever surface. So I don't have room for it here. So look for that next video.